There is no end. There was never a beginning. The arc that the pendulum swings is angled by degrees of our own separation from a narrow line scribbled on our existence. If nihilism is the most difficult idea, destiny must be the easiest. A story furnished by a two-dimensional idea in a single moment and place in time of what all moments and all places will or must be. But this is not our life. This is not our story. The true story is that we are layers of stories, stacked in waves that continually come and take over, moving unceasingly beneath us and slowly bringing us to a shore where we watch this process layer in waves that nest like a Russian doll until, well, there is no end. Why is it that music has such a profound influence on our lives? What is it about the mere combinations of sounds that supposedly elicit so much emotion from us, brings cultures together? This is a very hard question to answer. In fact, I've been trying to answer it ever since I started becoming a musician, because one of the biggest draws for me about music was that I didn't even know why I was so drawn to it. There's no one right answer to this question, but today I have a proposed solution, which is that music is not an external event. It's not something that we merely hear next to us and passively receive. No, it's an impetus for our own interpretation as we hear it and make it our own. That's why when we hear the same song, even the same recording on a different day, it can impact us so differently. In this way, we are all creators, and we all are capable of using things that we hear to feel based on our own experiences, to live based on who we are. When we hear something that affects us, we become inspired. Here's something that inspired me. What is the sound at the beginning of the letter A? An absence of sound, that is, part of the sound that sounds familiar to be around. Put enough sounds together and over time we know them all. A language that is a literal language. A swirl of experience and sensory input and emotional reaction, and though the same, different every time. No matter how hard we try, no matter how many songs we record or how many times they echo by, we will never capture all that the infinity of the universe can offer. This is our development, and we are the voice that guides it. When I started playing music, I was very young, taking Suzuki lessons on cello. And like a lot of kids that age, I didn't really practice. So when I got to middle school, I did something else that a lot of kids do, and I picked up the rock guitar. And I loved playing it, but something about the cello ended up speaking to me more. And when I was 16, I decided to focus just on the cello. This wasn't a decision to just play classical music. It was quite the opposite. I saw the potential of this instrument to be a vessel for learning as many different styles of music as I possibly could. And it's this pursuit that has driven me to be the musician that I am today and will continue to develop being. But it also makes me feel something quite frequently that we've all felt and hurts very much. When somebody says that a style of music that we love sucks. And this is hard because of that deep and personal connection to music that we all feel. But this is not a bad thing. No, this makes music a powerful tool. And what's more, what this experience teaches us is that the diversity of the human experience is why there's so much music out there in the first place. Every musician has pulled from their own limitless possibilities to create something that's meaningful to them. And the way I see it, this diversity gives us all a responsibility to ourselves to make our experience with music as grand as possible, keeping an open mind, finding new things that have the potential to reach us. Here's something both old and new. Now here's a question. Just answer it for yourself. What genre was that? Is that classical music because it's Bach played on cello? Is it fiddle music because of how I ended up using my bow? Is it crossover? Is it anything else? We have all these labels. But what I'm getting at is that while genre may not be useless, it's very arbitrary. And what I notice about people who are die-hard fans of a particular genre is that when they hear something that doesn't fit in to that rigid box, they don't like it. I don't like this. I don't like the idea of rigid barriers that disconnect us from the music of other human beings who made something meaningful to them. I think our ideals can be loftier than that. We can seek to connect with the human race as a whole. I believe in a sense of adventure, in exploring new music that has the potential to touch our hearts. As much music as there is out there will never be so much that it captures the infinity of what the universe can offer. And as I play my final poem and piece for you, I hope that you'll think about ways that you can enrich the diverse experience of music in your own life, be it changing the way that you build Spotify's suggestions, or being more aware of local concerts. Here's my final poem. Change. A subject line on a message by the minds thinking forward in time. The more things change, the more things stay the same, they say. Not true. Too static a world may feel safe, but it drives one insane. Predictability is a notion defined merely by the tools that measure change. To grow up, to grow old, the most predictable thing. And yet, littered on our consciousness, both the perpetual feelings of almost being where we want to be and almost slipping away where we want to be. The story moves. The muse moves too. The music today is always getting worse. And better. It will forever. A song is not a song until it is played. It's just an idea.